Well, howdy, folks. Welcome back to Puzzle Builder of the Disney Kind. It's been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been doing some other things. Of course, I've been doing the K-Dog movies and all that stuff. So it's time to put together a Disney puzzle. So, what are we going to do this time around? Well, I bought this one about a year ago. It was when Disney was going through their 100th anniversary. May have been before that. The 100th anniversary of Disney, and they were putting out a ton of products. Probably, I'm trying to think. I think they could have done a little bit better, but people were complaining about some of the other stuff. But this one is a portrait, more of a portrait type of the princess line. So this is Belle, one of my favorite ones, and Belle from Beauty and the Beast. This is by Seiko, and this is her portrait. The dimensions are 18 by 24. It's a 500-piece puzzle. And for that, we got to frame this thing because it's Belle. She's a princess, so. From Hobby Lobby, I get these things right here. I read a reviewer said that it's not great for puzzles. Actually, I haven't had a problem with them. Never had a problem with them. You just got to know how to get them on there properly. So, without further ado, let's open this sucker up. And now, sometimes I paint the backgrounds to these, but this time I don't think we're going to because it's an exact measurement. 18 by 24. So, pull off all this plastic. And the reason why I like these from Hobby Lobby is because they are more of a firm, thick piece of cardboard. So, and of course, you take all the plastic edging off and set that down to the side until we complete. And of course, here's the plastic. I'll have to fix that. And of course, the paper. Some people like the artwork that's on the paper, but it is what it is. So, and kind of want to make sure it's on a certain end. So we may have to adjust it as we go along. Of course, this is taped around the edge, so we gotta cut it open. So there we go. So we'll keep this handy. Actually, I forgot about this. Seiko actually does a fairly generous thing, and they actually put a little poster inside. So you can kind of look at it to get, see how you're putting the puzzles together. Now, or you can just use the box, but. So, we'll start with that, and then, I closed that box. I don't need to close. I really shouldn't have closed that, but, okay, here we go. Now, here's what we'll do, is do this. We got the poster, but we need some space to put the actual pieces into. And of course I just sent some flying across the room. So far it's 2 pieces, but well, yeah, there's some that landed on the table. A better spot for that. Okay, so put those all in the box. And we want to make sure that the little plastic baggie is completely shaken out, because the first time I did this, actually, I almost threw away a piece I needed. So, yeah, so here we go. We're going to begin. Well, here's where we're at for the first night. They did some interesting things with the color of her hair. That's about it. We're starting to get some pieces. It's going to take a little bit, but we'll get it. Okay, so you know me, how I like to get faces first. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Just kind of sorting, put little pieces together that go together. But yeah, her hair, they did like quite interesting color scheme, and it's I think it's just the design of this whole thing. But yeah, it's kind of like a ruby light, almost like a it's really strange, but it goes with the whole scheme of things. Okay, this is what's happened mostly over the weekend. Uh, so we got most of Belle done. So the rest of it's going to be like the outside and the lining. This is only a 500 piece puzzle, so there's still quite a bit there. And yeah, that's just, it's not too hard. But it's not too easy. You know what I mean? So like, there's still quite a bit more to be done here. Like I said, they have done some strange things with the color, but it fits the color scheme of everything, because it's like a stained glass window type coloring situation that they're making these particular portraits. I have 2 others, one is Cinderella and the other one of Ariel, and they're both in this similar design. It's like a stained glass type of portrait situation. So we'll just keep on trucking here. Okay, so here we are, pretty much in the home stretch. Just getting around there. Just may take a little bit while, but she's darn near getting close to completion. I mean, this one was kind of a fast one. It was only 500 pieces, so yeah, so let's keep on going. Last piece. And she's done. Okay, so we finally finished Belle, assembling her. So now it's time to do the honors. And hopefully I have enough glue in here to accomplish this. I should. So let's begin, shall we? So we take our puzzle glue. I'm just going to set that right there. And I've kept kind of an old spreader. So we do this first. We just dump this thing. You can get this at Walmart. And of course, places like Hobby Lobby, they sell different variations of it. This is actually Seco's, or actually Cardinal, I believe, is the company. They actually do the chemical. It's just a clear glue. Just kind of get this all over. So then, whoops, of course, put the cap back on. And we take our little spreader and just go throughout the whole thing. Now what this does is it actually puts, not only does it glue everything together, it also puts a shine on it, like a finish. Make sure we go through all corners. Get it all over, get it to the corners, get it to the top, get it to the bottom. Sometimes you may have to apply a second coat. It's not very often, but sometimes you do have to apply a second coat to it. Because that big one that had all the princesses in it. I ended up having to take that off of the wood. I had that glued to, because the glue for some reason was not sticking to it. So I had to just use thumbtacks for that. Just take it off and just use thumbtacks and just thumbtack it to the wall, and it's been holding up pretty well. But yeah, so there. So now what we need to do is, we've got this pretty much covered. Now this just needs to sit for 24 hours and curate and dry before we do anything further. So we'll be back within maybe 24 hours to see how it looks. Okay, so she's complete. The glue has dried. It's always a little sticky to touch, but so what we're going to do now is remember our piece of plastic. We're going to put that back on top and fit it just so. Then here comes this part, and it can be a little tricky to get these plastic pieces to fit. And somehow I picked up a cobweb. So here we go. I think that's why the reviewer said they're not great for puzzles, but you do kind of have to get it on there just right, because puzzle's a little bit thicker than a piece of paper. Make sure it gets onto the plastic part. Okay, so let's keep going. It's a little bit snug, so it's wanting to kind of dig in a little bit, but there we go. So I'm starting with the long pieces first. So let's just turn it this way so I can, and there is a back and a front, so you got to make sure that they're on correct. I did that one time with another Beauty and the Beast puzzle, and for a little while it was on the wrong side, and I just thought, you know, I'm getting tired of looking at that, so I had to take it off and fix it. I think that's why that person gave a negative review about puzzles, because it is a little bit tricky to get them on with puzzles, because this is really meant for something like this, just a poster, which is just, you know, a glossy piece of paper. But the puzzles add about another, not an inch, but they add a little bit of thickness to putting this on, so it does make it really tricky to get it on. See what I mean? If you can kind of, it's kind of wanting to miss the plastic and go straight for the top of the actual puzzle, and we don't want that. Let me see here. Yada, yada, yada. We'll get it on here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We will get her on. Yeah, that may be why. Gotta get it far apart enough. Okay. I think that was harder to do on the top. So, now the last piece. Yeah, I think these are much more difficult to get on the top and bottom than the side. Come on now. There we go. Voila! There she is in all her radiant beauty. So now I'm going to stop for tonight because I decided to do this really late. And that is, we're going to find a place to hang this. Haven't quite decided where to hang her. So, we'll be back. Well, everybody kind of knows this area where my recliner is, so that's where she's gonna go. Right below the Blockbuster Beauty and the Beast puzzle poster I did a couple years ago, I think. And I don't think I did a video on that. Maybe I did. But that's where she's gonna go. So I thought that'd be perfectly fitting. Well, that is the end of the Disney 100 Belle portrait puzzle. Not quite sure which one I want to do next. I still got a whole bunch of them coming up. I do know that eventually I want to get to I bought several of the Christmas themed puzzles, and I know sometimes it takes me a little while to actually produce these. But this one was pretty quick. I mean, it was only 500 pieces. I could do another one of those. There's some the Ravensburgers I've got in there, definitely. So I accidentally tipped that box. A little dusty, like a little bit of the what was left of the dust. But anyway. Hope you do come back. We'll have another great puzzle and have some fun. So, from me to you, see you later.